conservative, the big con, and it really is the biggest con going right now, they're making it known in their contracts that they will enforce the guidelines of big tech and punish conservatives on their behalf. Don't worry, Wojcicki. Trust me, these conservatives will stay in line. If they get demonetized, we take away 25% of their operating budget. Take another 20% away if they get a hard strike. Hey, don't worry, Zuckerberg. We've got your back. Hope to see you at the UFC Apex.
What's going on, everyone? It's also getting here today. We're reacting to a video with Steven Crowder. It's time to stop the big con. Big con. Ooh, boy. It's craziness, man. So my first thoughts is that I honestly think that Steven Crowder should just go independent. He has a bigger YouTube channel than Tim Pool. If Tim Pool can do it, I don't see why not Crowder can do it. Crowder already has a similar style, right? He has the Mud Club. Tim Pool has his little, I forgot his website, but he has a subscription-based business. I don't see why Crowder can't do the same thing. He's bigger than Tim Pool. But that's just my thoughts. What do you guys think in the comment section? Let me know. And let's get into the video.
Internet was basically free except for pornography. Even, Netflix, the only player in the space at the time between shipping DVDs of Poltergeist 3, they were struggling with online streaming. But I found a great partnership back then, a partnership with a company called CRTV, which later purchased The Blaze and used that name going forward. And on election night, 2016, so many of you signed up that the back end of our site crashed, we couldn't handle it. And it only grew from there. Now, I want to be clear about something.
And I think this is what the tough part about why these, I guess you guys have seen it already, but this is the tough part, because if you're a controversial YouTuber, you can't rely on a platform fully monetizing you, or you expect someone to mess with your money. It comes with the territory, right? That's the trade-off you take for speaking against the popular narrative of the day, of the century, of the society, right? That people gonna, finagle with your money. So you have to rely on these subscriptions, right? But that's calls into your supporters to actually support you with their money, their subscriptions, their donations, whatever it may be, right? And I know a lot of people get mad about that, but I see it. I'm like, hey, yeah, like if you don't do that, you don't give the content creators that you support and trust the means to actually tell these big mainstream big con the F you, say, hey, I don't need your money. I got my supporters are taking care of me. I'm loyal to them, because that's the only way you can get loyalty. If you want your content creator to do right by you, like Steven Crowder is doing right now, he knows that, hey, I can tell you guys F off, even if you guys blackball me, which corporations do that, right? I work in corporate. That can happen to me, right? That can happen to you. You do something bad. The guy at Google, he spoke out against something about, why women get paid less, and he gave a factual distinction of, hey, women choose different things, women take more times off, whatever. They called him a sexist, they blackball him, he can't work in tech no more. Literally, that can happen to Crowder right now, but Crowder is safe to do that because he has leverage. He's like, hey, my fans are going to support me no matter what, and with that support comes power, right? This is why I want Crowder to start his own thing, man, because I like the Daily Wire. I support the Daily Wire. I give them $240 every year because I'm an all access member. Right? I support what they're doing. A lot of the stuff they're doing in media, the kids' content, I'm all for it. Right? But you can go against their practices as well. That doesn't necessarily mean, they're all bad. But it's just, a critique. This is why Crowder hasn't put their name out on that. Sorry. This is speculation. This is not, I don't know if it's the Daily Wire for sure. I'm just using them as an example, right? But this is why Crowder has not ousted anybody, because he doesn't want them to get boycotted or canceled by conservatives or lose support from conservatives, because end of the day, that's still an ally. Like, that's still someone that's fighting for a cause that you believe in. You may not believe they're doing it in a way that you approve of, but that doesn't downplay their message, right? I think Jordan Peterson put out a tweet in support of Crowder, and it got taken down. So this is why I think that's why I thought of Daily Wire, because that's suspicious. You don't want Jordan Peterson to show support for Steven Crowder, and then because remember, in these contracts, these corporations have rights to your social media. They manage your social media for you, so they can delete this stuff that's not on brand, right? And that's why that's why I always think, I want to try to start my own thing. This is why I started YouTube, right? Because I was, I'm tired of the corporate environment, right? once you make a certain amount of money, you stop caring about money. You start looking for more meaningful work. And I find this meaningful. I find it meaningful waking up, making these videos and talking to you guys. Honestly, I do. I really appreciate you guys and all the support you give. But I got to get back to this video because I think I've been rambling way too long.
This video here, it's not about the Blaze. When they were purchased by CRTV, the company's goals, their vision, simply grew further apart from mine, from ours here. It just wasn't the right fit. Yeah, I wasn't thrilled about some things and the handling of Mug Club leaving, and that's why we launched mugclubforever.com, where you can sign up just to be able to reach you. This really isn't about that, so I want to create some separation here. Business relationships end all the time. That's business. But I was in a period to field offers from other people, other key players in this movement. They flooded in. Now, before you guess who it is, before you start trying to do some Sherlock Holmes work, there are far more people beneath the tip of the iceberg than you know about who are trying to get into this space. There are more than you would probably assume. So I went into free agency. I looked over the offers. And I saw the clause come out. And I don't just mean unreasonable demands for control, but what I would argue are immoral terms that actually punish conservative content creators on behalf of big tech.
Because big tech, the reason I don't think it's like, oh, they're colluding with big tech is because as much as we hate the left for what they do, they make sure you suffer a penalty for going against them and their narrative. I'm just saying, right? They make you suffer a penalty, and we're just now catching up to the game, right? Eric July always point this out, that you shouldn't be supporting people who hate you with your dollars, right? That's, to me, $1 is not just $1. That's time. That's hours of your life that you'll never get back that you got for that money. And to just give it to people to fund things that you disagree with and that vehemently hate you for, that's not a smart strategy. And that's where I agree with Eric July. Yeah, that's not a smart strategy. Disney's doing stuff that I don't agree with. Okay, let me stop supporting Disney. This is why I support the Daily Wire. Instead of paying for Disney Plus, my money goes to them. And I'm saying, hey, hurry up and make that kids content because my 2-year-old son is not getting any younger. Right? But this is why, even if he does out in its Daily Wire, I probably still support Daily Wire because I understand, hey, I need them. We need them. We need competition. We need a conservative alternative. Even though we hate their business practices. As a customer, right? I'm a customer. It doesn't really affect me. Now, I feel sorry about the content creator on the other end, but in my head, I'm like, yo, no, like that's kind of your problem, right? I still got benefits and values from there. Now, morally, yeah. Principle over practicality. This is trade-offs here. Life's about trade-offs, right? Your principles or practicality. Practicality is, hey, I'm Candace Owens. I'm up and coming, but I don't have enough reach, and I don't want to rely on YouTube for my money. So let me join Daily Wire. They have this subscription-based business. They're paying me money up front, and I can still do what I like and love to do. Except, there's some constraints, obviously, because there's a trade-off. I give up some control for some more safety, and that's important for a lot of people. Right? I'll never fault somebody for doing that, right? And this is one of the reasons why I used to think, oh my God, it would be cool to work for Daily Wire. I used to think that. Daily Wire, PragerU, I would have loved to sign with them, whatever. But then I started thinking, I won't be able to talk who I want to talk about, who I want to talk to about. I would feel a pressure to say things a certain way, You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. Like for instance, Andrew Tate stuff. You think I don't know if it's on brand to talk about Andrew Tate in conservative circles, right? Because the way conservatives like to talk about Andrew Tate, they like to talk about, oh, Andrew Tate is this hateful, he's wrong about all these things. And I'm like, no, he's wrong about a lot of things, right? Especially with Christianity. Christians are too tolerant. I agree with that statement. Now, people will look at me and saying what I mean by that. And what I mean by that is you let anyone call themselves a Christian. A gay pastor call himself a Christian. Y'all like, okay. How you could be a gay pastor? That's oxymoronic to me, right? But you accept these people in your ranks. Hey, But you think a gay person will be able to call himself a Muslim?
Nope.
I mean, they could, but they won't dare openly say they're a Muslim because they know what comes with that. They're gonna get rebuked. I'm just saying. Andrew Tate's right about a lot of stuff, right? And I want to be in a position where if I was ever big enough, I would be able to host them and like talk to them about these things, these topics, right? But you think if he were to go on the Daily Wire, PragerU, do you think they will let you do that?
Nope.
And that's what I'm talking about. Like, I want creative control. I want some, like, I don't know, man. I just don't think, I think what got us in this first place is like, oh, you have to talk to people that's on brand, that's acceptable to talk to. Sometimes it's good to talk to unacceptable people because you let them talk themselves into a circle. Bruh. Right? And you have an idea to try to convince them out of those bad ideas. But if you sit there shunning them like what they did with Kanye West, I think that's a missed opportunity by Daily Wire. Because you could have had Dennis Prager, Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro, and Kanye West on a podcast together. You don't think that would have been fire content? You don't think people are going to sit there and watch? Bruh. You know, bruh. If it was behind a paywall, they say, hey, come watch this interview with Kanye West. Bro, they would have had more money. But hey, you know, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a small content creator. But that's something I would have seen. I would have loved to have seen that. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, these big companies will say, hey, that's not going to work until you prove them wrong. Crowder, man, you need to start your own stuff, bro. Bruh. I'm done talking. Let's get back into the video.
And that's something that I just couldn't unsee. And I want to let you, it's not the exception. It's the rule. Kids out there coming up. We need to build a bench here in this movement. It's almost impossible. Don't sign these contracts. I now know what you are signing out there. I have the luxury of not having to. I don't have to be here. I don't have to say this. Please, don't sign this. Certainly not without professional legal counsel representation. Do not sign something that includes, let me go through this. Effectively, full ownership of all your social media platforms, channels.
What? Wow. So pretty much they rent your image and likeness like athletes, right? Oh, LeBron. Like, imagine an NBA team told LeBron James, hey, we own your likeness. We manage your social media for you. If you do business outside of the fact because you're only famous because you're in the NBA. Like, imagine them bring a deal like this to an NBA player. Nope. That ain't going to slide. To me, I think and I'm going to leave this up there so you guys can read, like, the terms. Hopefully my head is not blocking, like, the bottom right of the screen too much. It just says exploitation of. That's all it says back there. If I am blocking that, but I think a fair deal for these companies, for like creators, because I'm a creator. Roll to 1,000, guys. Bruh. But all seriousness is that, hey, you're free to get sponsored by whoever you want, right? And whatever show you do for that company, let's say it's the Daily Wire, because I like the Daily Wire, right? Let's say Kenny does a show with the Daily Wire. Any content I do with the Daily Wire, those are Daily Wire's exclusives. But on my YouTube channel, I could do my own content, right? It's separate. It's a separation, right? Oh, this is Kenny's show on the Daily Wire. Kenny has no rights to that show. That's the Daily Wire show, right? But this is Kenny still. This is my YouTube channel still. And I can talk whatever the hell I want on this YouTube channel, right? But to bundle all that stuff up and then say, oh, no, this is under the control and management, is that's almost like you're paying them to rent out your likeness. And I don't think that's a fair trade. That's just me, right? And maybe because I also into sports that I think how the athletes are, influencers should get similar contracts to that. Hey, here's a contract. Here's what we're paying you to do content for us. But your stuff is your stuff. Your merch is your merch. But these merch, this merch over here, this is what we're created for you. So when you're over here, you wear our merch. But then your business stuff, that's for you. Right? I think that's a more fair deal. Hey, let me know if you guys think so too. Right? Because I see a lot of these guys, they're complaining about like Tim Pool. They're talking about how this is not fair, but what would be fair? But I'm like, yo, why no one's actually debating what's the contracts, right? Offer a better solution. That's why I like to lean on, right? Don't talk about what a good man should be one, right? Don't talk about what's not a good contract. Give a good contract, right? And I think that's a more fair deal. How sports athletes run their league. Hey, here's your payment. We're gonna pay you this amount of money, and you have to do these things exclusively on our platform. Your show, we have this show for you. This is the show we'll be doing for you. This is our collab, and your channel is your channel. Your social media is your social media, right? It's an actual job. But this here's a fee, and we have rights to your merch, your email list, and your social media.
Nope.
That's a bad deal, no matter who that is for. But hey, I digress. I'm talking a little bit too much. Let's get through this.
In perpetuity, the rights to your content, name, image, likeness, even the ones that you've built. Don't sign contracts out there that include multi-million-dollar penalties for different. Let me read you an example of what I mean. And this would be if it was me. If a creator fails to deliver a monthly content in any month or any of the quarterly content in the corner, including any and all ad reads, and by the way, all these contracts came with 3, 4, 5 ad reads per show, which would
that contract bad, guys. Like, imagine you get hit by a car. You got to be doing content from, I got hit by a bus. And then you got to go back to the company and say, look, I did content today. Don't find me. Bruh. Damn.
would fundamentally change what this show is. Got to get those dollar bills. If I failed to do that, it would be a $250,000 reduction in fee per quarter. If, let's say...
Imagine that. And now, like, the more I think about it, the more I think a fair deal will be paying social media influencers, like if you were to join under a big mainstream company, you should be contracted out like athletes. Hey, here, when you're this is the brand you support, this is the brand you sponsor, here's our gear specifically for you on our show, for our stuff on our side. Your stuff is separate from us, right? LeBron James can have his own separate thing going on, but when he's in the NBA, he wears the brands sponsored by that's sponsoring the NBA. He does the television things on the NBA networks and all that stuff over there. But his stuff is his stuff, right? Because imagine that you telling LeBron James, hey, you can't. I mean, they can kind of say they can fine you, right? But imagine LeBron James gets injured and they're saying, hey, man, the fans come to see you, LeBron James. So every game you miss, that's $100 fine. That's $100,000 fine that you take in, bruh. That's a.
How dare
they wouldn't dare do that to an athlete. So why should influencers suffer that same consequence? Maybe we get paid. I know we get paid for our content, but damn, people come to see LeBron that's why they were so harsh against the resting thing. All you resting players, people came to see you and you resting them, right? But you saying content creators can't can't get that same deal? The more I think about it, the more I think that would be a better contract arrangement, right? I'm for trying to get solutions. That's just my solution. Maybe you guys have better ideas, more business savvy people. But hey, I digress. Let's get back into it.
We did do everything per quarter, but annually maybe miss something. Like let's say we went and did a Change My Mind instead of a daily show, which of course requires a lot more work. It'd be a separate $1 million penalty for that if you miss a single piece of content. And the amount of content required is not in line with, frankly, it's worse than Disney. It's worse than ABC. It's worse than NBC. It's worse than CBS. This is ownership of you and everything that you do. But here's, just to drive it home, don't sign something that has another $100,000 daily penalty if it's not signed off on beforehand.
And that's what I don't like. I think that's the worst part of the contract. Oh, you put on this contract that don't really represent our brand. We got to fine you for that. What? You fining me for content that you don't agree with? What? No, I'm thinking about it.
Bruh.
What if that's what happened to Candace Owens when she spoke out in favor of Kanye West? Oh, that wasn't on brand with the Daily Wire. We'll fine you. Now my head is turning now. Now I'm becoming a conspiracy theorist. Now I'm speculating right now, as we all say. I'm speculating, right? Because I saw no problem with what Candace Owens was speaking out against. She was just saying, hey, man, he didn't mean it like that. Why do we assume the worst, right? And maybe someone's going to come out here and call me names.
Nope.
But what's wrong with Candace Owens not coming out and saying, hey, I don't want to condemn him. What he said was wrong. Fine. But to be like, oh, you can't have him on your podcast. But I thought it was her show.
Nope.
You found out real quick, hey, it's not her show anymore because they already paid her up front for it, right? Based on the contract that Steven Crowder is putting out in front of me right now. Now we all have an idea like, damn, Brett Cooper, what kind of contract you got? Like, now we're starting to think about this stuff, right? We're too mainstream now, right? Now people, I don't know. I think there's a hole in the market. Yeah, you guys already know my answer.
You get hit by a car, you have a sick day. You could lose $100,000 a day. Hey, anyone wonder why there's burnout in this? Anyone wonder why you have kids come up and they leave and never to come back? You think if you had that kind of a penalty, you think if someone said, hey, we're going to penalize you $10,000 every day you miss coming into work, you think you'd be stressed? This is worse than the left frames their contracts. Again, of course I didn't sign any of these things. But I now know what other kids are signing out there. And here's the worst part. Yeah, that's terrible. I think I just think that's wrong to treat people that way. But this is where, in going through this, and I need to take some time because, look, I've always tried to be a happy warrior, and I want to go back to that. I haven't been happy for a while. To be really, I haven't been happy for a while because when you know what goes on behind these scenes and you see how many people are complicit, it creates an air of hopelessness. It really does. Where you think the people who are supposed to be linking arms and fighting with you, fighting for you, want to punish you. So here's the worst part. Do not, kids, under any circumstances, sign a contract with people who claim to be conservative, but will penalize you 25% for any demonetization or sponsor boycott. Look, let me read this to you. If any of the major platforms, oh no, sorry, that's the second one. Let me go back to the first one. There's another 20%.
Bruh. Oh my God, let me continue.
And it's 45% if you get a content strike. Let's start with the demonetization. If blank is boycotted or dropped by more than 50% of the advertising partners, the company is not able to replace them within 90 days, the fee will be reduced by 25%. That's a sponsorship boycott. So that's saying, hey, liberals, boycotts work. They work on our guys. We'll punish them for you. Let me go on. Specifically, YouTube demonetization. If any of the major platforms issues a content strike such that Crowder cannot be monetized on such platform, and the company is not able to resolve the issue within 90 days, the fee will be reduced by 25% moving forward. Now, I thought this was a mistake because, these people...
That's crazy. Punishing... Because, end of the day, these mainstream the big cons, right? We're going to call them... That's the new name now. The big cons, they pushing, hey, we're here to fight for you. We're here for pushing conservative alternative. So they should damn near know that, hey, speaking against the popular opinion, status quo, you're going to be seen as controversial, no? So to have that in as a clause in your contracts, that's crazy. It's like you make the creator take all the risk and you take none. At least split it 50-50. Say, hey, we're going to, I'll have more respect for them. Like I said, when an NBA player gets injured, they don't sit here and penalize. Oh, every day you're out of that work playing the game, you're getting penalized. You're getting a fine here, fine there, right? We don't do that to athletes where they're more prone to injury, where they're more prone to miss games. They're not guaranteed to play all the games, all 82 games of the season. There's no guarantees like that. But you want to penalize a controversial, conservative talent, media personality, that when they get canceled or banned or they say some controversial take that's in line with the conservative worldview, not only they get banned where their content and their voice is not heard of, you penalize them.
Bruh.
It doesn't make sense.
Oh boy, this is a black pill I gotta digest, man. This is why they say you never want to meet your heroes, because you get the reality of the situation, right? You guys can watch the rest of the video. I only went kind of halfway through it. My thoughts is, man, I think I'm gonna be an independent creator for a long time, man. I don't know, because I like having control of what I can do. I like the creative freedom. I like to be able to react to anything. You see me. I randomly react to some red pill stuff, some manosphere stuff. You would think if I was signed under a conservative mainstream media guy, they'll let me do that?
Nope.
They'll let me talk about red pill?
Nope.
Come on. I like that creative freedom that I have here, and I think I'll never give that up for nothing. And even if I ever get into a situation where I get a contractual agreement about some stuff like that, I might F around, make a live stream, and talk it out with you guys.
Bruh.
Real stuff. Because at the end of the day, I'm in this position, or if I ever get into that position, it's because people support what I'm doing. So if the people don't support what I'm doing, I'm be like, hey, look, my fans don't want it. So I gotta be like, objection! I can't do it. My fans don't want it. But hey, guys, you let me know what you guys' thoughts are. Who you think it is? Do you think Crowder should start his own thing? Do you think he should out them or not out them? I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts, guys. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. And thanks for watching to the end of the video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.